Whether you're coming to Thailand for a week or two to work on your tan and sip on cocktails by the pool, or you're spending a month backpacking the length and breadth of Thailand, from the mountains in the north down to the islands in the south, or maybe even you're planning a period of extended travel around the entire region of Southeast Asia and planning on hopping in and out of Thailand and its neighbouring countries for the best part of a year. Well, whatever your circumstances, there is a tourist visa for you. One thing is for sure when you're traveling abroad for travel or perhaps a family vacation, and that is that you want to be on or be in possession of the most appropriate visa for your situation. As someone who has been living in Thailand for the past several years, I've had my fair share of learning experiences when it comes to visas for Thailand. So let me share some of my experience with you. And today let's go over all the different options for tourist visas when it comes to traveling to Thailand for the purposes of tourism. In this video, we'll go over some of the more popular visa options for tourists, beginning with visa exemption, then looking at the visa on arrival scheme before looking at the single entry and the multi-entry tourist visas. After discussing the different visas on offer, we'll look at the process of extension, and I'll finish the video by talking about some of my final considerations and warning when it comes to tourist visas. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it and talk about the visa exemption scheme. First of all, it may be the case that you're one of the fortunate few who can qualify for visa exemption when it comes to traveling to Thailand for the purposes of tourism, which basically means you don't actually need a visa at all. This option is perfect for short breaks and family vacations to Thailand. Visa exemption is offered to nationals of 93 countries, including the UK, US, most of Europe, and Australia, and that's to name but a few. And on the screen now is those 93 countries listed, so feel free to pause the video now to review that list. Visa exemption allows those who qualify for the scheme the luxury of not needing to apply for a visa, but simply arrive and once at passport control, get a stamp in your passport for a 60-day stay, visa exempt. You may also be pleased to learn that once in the country on visa exemption, it is possible to extend your stay a further 30 days at a local immigration office. This can only be done once and comes at the cost of 1,900 Thai baht, but could mean that you can stay up to 90 days total if you add the initial 60 days plus the 30-day extension. So that would be a potential 90 days stay total in Thailand, visa exempt as a tourist. I do want to add that it is important that you check visa exemption durations before traveling, as things may change. It was only recently that Thailand extended visa exemption from 30 days to 60 days, and recently there were multiple news stories about the government proposing to return to 30 days. As it stands now, my understanding is that visa exemption remains at 60 days, but these things do change, so do check yourself before traveling, especially when it comes to visa exemption, as I have seen a fair few headlines that the government is planning to return to visa exemption, being only 30 days. Visa exemption is a great option for those of you planning on spending a family holiday for a couple of weeks by the beach in Thailand. Let's say Thailand is your summer getaway, and each year you love to come out to the kingdom for a couple of weeks for a family vacation. Well, visa exemption was designed specifically for people like you, and it's likely you'll never need a different visa for Thailand. However, this visa is not so great for those of you who want to spend an extended period of time in Thailand, or those of you who wish to enter Thailand multiple times per calendar year and stay in the kingdom. In fact, if you do find yourself trying to enter through the visa exemption scheme multiple times per calendar year, you will likely find yourself being pulled to one side by immigration officers to be questioned and asked to show proof you are visiting for the purpose of tourism. If you're trying to spend an extended period of time in the Kingdom of Thailand, or you're trying to re-enter multiple times on the visa exemption scheme, then you are taking advantage of this scheme. This is for people who come for family holidays to make it smoother at immigration for them, so there's no need for the visa application. Obviously, if it looks like you're trying to live in Thailand or spend a long time here or multiple entries per year, then arguably you're probably not doing it for the purposes of tourism. Perhaps you're trying to live here through this visa scheme, which the immigration officers do not appreciate and will likely notice from your history. When it comes to the application process, there isn't really an application process for the visa exemption. Like the name suggests, you are exempt from a visa. It's visa exemption for the purposes of tourism. That being said, increasingly you are likely to be asked to show proof of onward travel. That could be in the form of a return flight back to your home country or a flight to a different country after your holiday in Thailand. It is also possible that you will be asked to show proof or access to funds to be able to afford your travels in Thailand. So just to recap, when it comes to visa exemption, there isn't a application process per se. Once again, you are exempt from needing a visa upon entry. However, there are a few things that you may be asked to show. So for example, you're probably likely going to be asked to show proof of onward travel. Once again, that could be in the form of a return flight to your home country or a flight to a different country after your holiday. And you may also be asked, although it's a little bit less common, you may also be asked to show proof of funds. Proof of funds would be 10,000 Thai baht per individual or 20,000 Thai baht per family. Let's look next at the visa on arrival or VOA scheme. So unfortunately, visa exemption is not offered to everyone. If you're not from a visa exempt country, you might qualify for a visa on arrival instead. A visa on arrival or VOA is offered for nationals from 31 countries, allowing those who are eligible the opportunity to apply for a visa quickly upon arrival to Thailand, meaning you don't have to apply for a Thai embassy before you travel, but rather make the application at the airport upon arrival. The Visa on Arrival program offers visitors 15 days stay for a fee of 2,000 Thai baht. Unfortunately, the VOA cannot simply be extended like the visa exemption scheme, except for perhaps in extreme circumstances such as medical emergencies. VOA is a great program again for those traveling for a short stay or family vacation in Thailand. Essentially, it's perfect for those who are planning to spend a short holiday in Thailand, but who do not unfortunately qualify for the visa exemption scheme. When it comes to the application for the visa on arrival, there are a few requirements, which are: you must hold citizenship from an approved country, you must have completed the visa on arrival application form, which is available at immigration once you arrive. You will need a photo of the applicant, 4 by 6 centimeters, taken within the last 6 months. You will need your passport, and that passport will need at least 30 days of validity remaining. You must pledge to visit Thailand strictly for tourism purposes. You'll need to show proof of accommodation in Thailand. You'll need to show proof of funds, 10,000 Thai baht for individuals or 20,000 Thai baht per family. And once again, you'll have to show proof of onward travel from Thailand, such as a return flight ticket. So perhaps visa on arrival is the right option for you. For those of you looking for a longer period holidaying or traveling around Thailand, then the single entry tourist visa may be a better option for you. For the single entry tourist visa, you will be applying before traveling to Thailand via a Thai embassy or through the Thai online visa service. Unlike visa exemption or visa on arrival schemes, the visa option requires application before travel. Once approved, a single entry tourist visa permits you a stay of 60 days in the kingdom that can be extended once again at a local immigration office for a further 30 days. So potentially with a single entry tourist visa, you get those initial 60 days plus, if approved, you can also add to that the extension of a further 30 days. It may be possible to stay in Thailand for up to 90 days via this visa route, if you include the 30 days of extension, which is probably more than enough time for even the most extreme backpackers. When it comes to the single entry tourist visa, you must enter Thailand within 3 months of a successful visa application. Also, as the name may suggest, this is a single entry visa, meaning that once you leave the country, the visa is void, and to re-enter, you must apply for a new visa on a different program to enter the country. When it comes to application for the single entry tourist visa, you may be able to apply online via the Thai online visa website. Depending on where you are, it's not available everywhere just yet. But if not, then you can apply at a Thai embassy or consulate. Application of the single entry tourist visa does come with some requirements. Those requirements include, once again, you need a completed visa application form. Your passport must be valid for no less than 6 months and must have at least 2 blank pages. Once again, you're going to need to submit a passport photograph. You will need to show proof of onward travel, such as a return flight or a ticket leaving Thailand. You are going to need to show proof of financial funds, which are 10,000 Thai baht per individual or 20,000 Thai baht per family. And you will need proof of accommodation, such as a hotel booking in Thailand. So that would probably be enough time for those of you wishing to explore Thailand. However, like we mentioned at the beginning of this video, perhaps you're someone who is planning on taking an extended period of travel, not just in Thailand, but around Southeast Asia. Perhaps you want to sort of jump around a lot and you're considering, or you know that you want to enter Thailand multiple times. Well then, the multi-entry tourist visa may be a better option for you to consider. As mentioned, if you're planning an extended period of travel around the entire region of Southeast Asia, there's a good chance that Thailand is a place you will want to visit more than once during your trip. Unfortunately, the multiple entry tourist visa can allow you to do just that. When it comes to the multi-entry tourist visa, you can enter Thailand as often as you like for a stay of up to 60 days per entry within a 6-month validity of the visa. On top of that, it is my understanding that each entry can also be extended a further 30 days at a local immigration office. Once again, the extension costs around 1,900 Thai baht. And as always, the extension is down to the judgment of the local immigration officer. Finally, when it comes to the application process for the multiple entry tourist visa, it's very similar to the single entry visa. So once again, when it comes to applications, many nationalities can apply for the multi-entry tourist visa online via the Thailand e-visa system. However, some of you, once again, will have to apply at a Thai embassy or consulate. The application for the multi-entry tourist visa, the requirements include a completed visa application form, a passport valid for no less than 6 months with at least 2 blank pages. Once again, you're going to need to submit a passport photograph of yourself, proof of onward travel, once again, such as a return flight ticket or onward travel, proof of financial funds, 10,000 Thai baht per individual or 20,000 Thai baht per family, and proof of accommodation such as or your initial hotel booking in the Kingdom of Thailand. So those are the main tourist visa options when it comes to traveling to Thailand. Now, we did mention that quite a few of those visas, in fact, all of them except for the VOA, the visa on arrival, so all of them except for the VOA, so they can offer you the opportunity to extend once per entry for a further 30 days extension. So let's talk about those extensions for a moment. We have mentioned a few times in this video that most of the tourist visas mentioned can be extended in country at an immigration office. If you entered Thailand via visa exemption, single or multi-entry tourist visas, then you can apply for a 30-day extension once per entry. To apply for a visa exemption, it is quite a simple process. Simply find where your local immigration office is. All major cities and tourist hotspots have an immigration office, and you can easily find the location on Google Maps. Once you've located your local immigration office, then simply travel there, fill out the application form for the visa extension, which you can find at the immigration office, pay the fee, which is usually 1,900 Thai baht, and in most cases it is as simple as that, and you will have the extension stamped into your passport. Finally, on the topic of visa exemptions, it is important to remember extensions are granted by the discretion of the immigration office, so there are no guarantees, but usually are a relatively stress-free and smooth process. Also, when visiting an immigration office, it is recommended dressing appropriately. Immigration officers usually have signs making the same point. I recommend trousers, closed-toe shoes, and a t-shirt at the minimum. That being said, I have been to immigration offices in beach towns where the dress code is certainly more lax or less enforced. But still, I don't think it will hurt your case dressing in a manner that would be appropriate visiting a government organization's office space. One last point, that the timing of this process will vary depending on where you are and the season you are here. Finally, I did want to conclude this video with a few warnings and considerations when it comes to tourist visas in general. There are a few things that I do want to warn you about and that I think you should be mindful of. The first one is quite obvious, but definitely don't overstay your visa. Overstaying your visa can result in fines, jail time, deportation, and even being banned from the country, depending on the circumstances. It really is not worth the risk when the expiry date is clearly printed on your passport, and extensions can be applied for at local immigration offices without needing to leave the country. If you're caught overstaying your visa, at the minimum you can expect fines, and at the maximum you can expect jail time. Secondly, I do have another obvious point to make. However, it is something else that I would like to stress on the topic of tourist visas, and that is that tourist visas are only for the purpose of tourism. It is illegal to work in Thailand whilst on a tourist visa, and if you are caught doing that, it comes with serious consequences. So don't start a job whilst on a tourist visa. Even if an employer tells you it's fine whilst your work visa is in the process, it's not. And it is you who will face the consequences if found, not necessarily your employer. Finally, I would encourage you to avoid border runs and multiple entries per calendar year, especially on visa exemption. These types of visas are visas for tourists. They're not designed for long-term stays. If you want to retire or stay long-term, look for the more suitable visas that are available. If you do border runs or even multiple flights to Thailand expecting visa exemption, you will likely spark interest from immigration officers and maybe denied entry. There are better visas. There are more appropriate visas for those of you wishing to stay long term in Thailand. Like we said, if you are planning on retiring here, there are retirement visas. If you're planning on working here, there are visas appropriate for work. And if you want to stay here as a digital nomad perhaps, then check out the Destination Thailand visa. In fact, I made a video recently about that one, so I might leave a link to that video in the description of this video for any of those of you who are interested.